Have you ever wondered, how do great products come to life? How do they go from idea to launch? Well, let me tell you. As a product manager, I sit at my desk with no distractions until a brilliant idea hits me. AI dog trainer. I jot it down on a Post-it, and then I toss it to the engineers. They immediately understand it and start coding. And 2 weeks later, boom, we launch with massive success.
Hi, Mando. I'm an AI dog trainer. Mando, sit. Please, sit. I may be useless.
If only it were that easy. Product teams use a product development process that is way too much for a Post-it to handle. This is all part of a PM crash course I gave at MIT as a guest lecture. Today, we're talking about discovery, part 1 of the product development process. Right here, phases 1 and 2. We'll figure out the right thing to build. We'll get into part 2 next week, so subscribe. Now, you can find variations of the product development process all over the internet, but this one is the best because I wrote it and it doesn't start with an idea. We'll explain why that matters later. This is how you, the product manager, will guide your entire team to build a great product. But first, this is a public service announcement. Always start with objectives and goals. Before we even think about building things, we need to understand our company's objectives. We're running a business here, people. We need to build things that create value for our customers and our business. You are here. We go through the product development process for projects and launches, but everything ties back to the business objectives, the roadmap, goals, strategy, etc. Launches that ignore business objectives are usually a distraction, and too many distractions lead a business to death. So let's focus on success, not death. Alrighty. This has been a public service announcement by the Academy of Product Management. Let's talk about the product development process, starting with phase 1, define the opportunity. A big mistake people make is starting the process with an idea.
No.
The idea is not step 1. You'll build crap nobody wants. Your idea is useless if it doesn't solve a real problem that real people have. Does Mando actually want an AI dog trainer? Mando says no. Great. Great product teams start with the problem, the opportunity. This is phase 1. Before jumping to solutions, we have to make sure we're solving the right problem. The right problem is one that you understand clearly, that you have confirmed is something your customers actually care about, and that your technology and business are uniquely positioned to solve. A lot of teams skip this phase entirely, and that's why there are so many products that nobody cares about. No, hold on. I would buy that. I would definitely buy that. Starting with the problem does 2 critical things. It forces you to validate that there is a real need that you can solve, and it'll help your team be more creative. When you start with an idea, everyone gets fixated on that one option. But if you present the problem first, you can expand imaginations and you'll get more options and more creative options from your team. In phase 1, you will do most of the work. You will figure out the what, the who, and the why. What problem is most important for your team to solve, who you are solving it for, and why you should solve it. Your whole team should participate and provide input, but you are driving in this phase. Our Substack, links below, has more critical details on this process. And of course, discovery is the heart of product management, and it's hard stuff. So we're going to get the hang of it in upcoming videos. We're taking baby steps. So phase 1 is done. We have agreement on the what, the who, and the why. Now it is time to figure out the how. Phase 2. Design the solution. This is when the designers and engineers design the how. They will figure out how the solution should look, how customers should interact with it, and how it should be built. The whole point of discovery is figuring out the right thing to build. You already figured out the right problem to solve, and hopefully your team is getting wild now with ideas on how to solve that problem. The designers will create wireframes and designs. The engineers will come up with technical designs, but you can't build all the solution ideas. You have to choose the right solution. Now, that doesn't mean that the one you choose is guaranteed to be perfect and solve world peace, but it does mean that you have narrowed down your list of options and you've thrown out the bad ideas. So How do we find and
destroy
the bad ideas? Marty Kagan describes this beautifully. Will the user buy this? No? Destroy. Can the user figure out how to use it? Mando says no. Destroy. Can our engineers build this in a reasonable amount of time? No? Destroy. Can our business sell and maintain this? No? Destroy. Answering these 4 questions will destroy the bad ideas. We call that de-risking, and it'll help lead you to the good ideas. It sounds so simple, and yet every day millions are spent creating products that fail to answer these simple questions, and those products fail. That's why you will be the destroyer of bad ideas. No, not the burrito bumper. That one's a great idea. I would buy that for my birthday. And one caveat here, you want to run all your great ideas by your leadership, security, privacy, and legal teams as soon as possible if you need their approvals. You don't want them to destroy your product after you've built it. Discovery doesn't have to take weeks to get through. You can reasonably get through phase 1 and 2 in a day, especially if you have great teamwork and you know your customer really well. What's most important is that you don't skip these steps. Don't jump straight into building the wacky idea you woke up with this morning. Do the work to understand the problem and validate your solution. We are now ready for phase 3, build the solution. Check out that Substack and subscribe for next week's class on part 2, delivery. You've got this.